Ciao a tutti, it's Aram and it's HC23, round 5. Sorry if I'm late, I'm always late. And at this point, I'm kind of a lost cause. Anyways, we have Ultrapan versus indicat going first. I think, this is a pretty easy matchup right now. Spellbook versus Gyugia. If Spellbook goes first, usually wins, especially considering the fucking hands of these guys. Ultrapan's hand is way too good and indicat is not. So yeah, yeah, it's kind of like Fate really stops Gyugia from ramping at all. It's kind of why Spellbook has such a good matchup. It's because Gyugia is normal summon reliant to start. It's also why artifacts are not good because to start you need to flip the face up armor, and with the artifacts you cannot really stop the search. With spellbooks you just banish it while it's face down, so that's kind of the difference between the why one is a great matchup and one is a terrible matchup. Here we see life on Justice, which is seldom seen since Justice is not known for hitting the graveyard very often. Especially since the main thing it gets hit by is like bottomless. Yeah. Now we see indicat with a very strong opening hand. He goes full combo. Probably could have used a soul charge that turn, but it's best to keep it for later, especially since spellbooks are not known for. And he scooped. Damn. I didn't even see his hand. I saw a priestess and spells, so I assumed it was live, but is it? I don't know. Sorry about that. Anyways, he has finished chain plus MST set. He soul charge the bluff. Good play on indicat's part. Very good play. He flicks away the macrocosmos. Kinda pivotal. But priestess gets debunked. Which happens. Goes for power. Turns back the master and masters the power again, I guess. Yeah. But it wasn't Geary Armor, it was just MK2. Indicat goes for Exiton, followed up by a very nice soul charge. I don't know what the fuck is happening right now. I saw Torrential move around, and those are not supposed to do that. And it crashed. Why? Fucking hell. Right. Not sure what the fuck the Torrential was doing. Yeah. Circuit boss into master. Master of puppets, I'm pulling your strings. Guessing for single power use. Not sure why it couldn't have been shining on Jill, but whatever. Next up we have Molson versus Yomo. Molson is on Keeper Artifacts, Yomo is on Gyugia Hands. This should be interesting since Gyugia should be the worst matchup for Gatekeeper, especially Gyugia Hands. Gets the Murmulyo Breakthrough skilled and sets up Necro Valley. Tries to go for chilling 2 more for making nice and miss the timing on the Sanctum, but the Torrential gets wiretapped. And now he wipes his whole entire field. And he sets Breaker Skill. Meanwhile, Molson sets Spy and Rite of Spirit, which is very solid. Um, sorry. He crushes the commandant, the recruiter to search commandant to search Necro Valley. Outs the hand, which is very important here, obviously. And he has now 2 Rites of Spirit set, which is nice. Duality into Warning. Frankly, could have gone for Shaman, but this is not really the matchup to do so. Goes for a second Rite of Spirit for whatever reason, I'm not sure. Not what I would have done. I would have just saved it. You're not doing much. It's not like It's not like he could have gone into Cowboy. Goes for Sanctum on the setback C bluff. And that's a game 1. Interesting. Overall Molson opened really nice, and even in this game he opened a really nice hand. Full of artifact combos plus Necro Valley. And here I assume he just gets aggroed out by Gyugias. Okay, if you get to the point where Gigi has a lot of Gigi Texas, it's kind of hard to come back from that. But even here he opens a really strong hand. Set 5 hand. Meanwhile, Yomo opens a pretty shit hand. So many normal summons. So normal summons. And an MST. So yeah, this is kind of how you win versus artifacts. With artifacts versus gear. Yes, you just open the nuts and they open shit, and that's how you win. But game 1 was pretty interesting. Now we have Seymour Postain on Spellbooks versus Ghost Rider on Geargias. Gear Maleo. Ghost Rider goes first. Here we'll see kind of how to play versus with Spellbooks versus Geargias going second, or how to win, how to play with Geargias versus Spellbooks. I'm not sure who wins this one. I could check, but I'm not gonna. He summons Priestess with Chalice as protection. Banishes Secrets to Recycle of Eternity, and he also has all the spells to make Fate Live, which is really good. Obviously, that's kind of how you win. But it's not Lost Cause. The Ghost Rider has Gurian Tex, and he goes for Exiton, but Semo has the Finish Chain to stop it. Goes for Zenmains to out the Priestess, but Fate does get draw 1. He has Blue Boy in hand now, and he can just go for all of his plays. He can just life back the Priestess, which is kind of insane. He can just fade away the Zenmains. So yeah, pretty much Fate is the GOAT in the Georgia Spellbook matchup. Ghost Rider is siding DNA Surgery, which is really nice in this matchup, obviously. But Semo has drawn the MST that he sided in. So, yikes. Sorry, got a little bit distracted here. Goes for justice, but gets summoned. You know, he doesn't have enough spellbooks in hand to make priestess live. Otherwise, you know, if that didn't get stopped, he would have been in a really nice position. But you know, obviously he has 2 back row sets, so it's probably gonna get stopped. And Ghost Rider also drew the bank for when priestess eventually tries to come in, and which is going to be now. And yeah, that's game. Moving on to game 3. Samo has opened a fucking terrible hand. And Ghost Rider also. It's the battle of the bricks right now. And finally, Ghost Rider has unbricked, but Samo has warning, but he has called out but MST, but Soul Charge. And Soul Charge is not gonna get stopped. That finally goes through. Ghost Rider has set up, but Samo also draws the card to unbreak him. He gets DNA transplanted, but wiretap. Oh my god. Goes for power. Power into masters. Oh my god. Oh no, there's no other. There's the master. Power into master. So much action. Oh my god. And he adds the fate and the secrets for the follow-up. And he sets the fate and they got the tower and wisdom too. And that's going to be game, folks. Probably. I don't know. Spellbooks are pretty cool. Warning. Was for the famous spellbook beatdown. Justice, wisdom, Finnish, priestess. Ghost Rider top decks macro, and you know, Call of Daunted is being quite good here. You know, I'm still a doubter, but you know, it does have its moments. Call of Daunted. I think it's just more of a Yu-Gi-Oh! Karakuri card, and even in that deck, it's not the best. But you know, it has its moments. But Ghost Rider is gonna resolve justice, and Ghost Rider cannot unbrick, and yeah, so cannot draw a monster, so he's gonna lose next turn, so he forfeits. Moving on to James Sark versus Nauta. DB was glitching. This is not a good sign. I hope it doesn't go back to that. Nauta on Chefak, James Sark on Murmurs, which I now know for sure he's not playing Undyne. Yeah. Apparently that's a thing now. Yeah. Searches Marksman, or takes it back and searches Gund. Tries to go for artifact plays. Oh, sorry. He makes sure that Zenmains doesn't crash. Makes sense, I guess. Somewhat. Goes for play this into Madolches. Hope he doesn't forget that he cannot go into the battle phase if he uses Sanctum in your turn. And he does. Alright, but James remembered. Anyways, James goes for the Megalo. Title. Very nice. Brings back Theos with Gund. It all gets torrentialed. But he's able to make up somehow a lot of field advantage without Soldier. I'm not sure how, what. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention between the torrential and the moment he had 3 monsters on the field. I'm not sure how he got there. Sorry about that. Anyways, game 2 we have Nauta opening the Angeli. The rest of his hand is fine, but you know, he has Crow and the Bank. And also, you know, Ignition, even just Ignition is fine enough versus Mermals. Gets the ticket MST, now he ends up like yeah, Bradzorf. He calls the Marksman. You know, considering his set cards, I think makes sense, but you know, I probably would have used the Bank instead. Just for, you know, more coverage versus Soul Charge. Since, you know, he already has 2 the Banks. And, you know, the Bank now gets wiretapped. Which kinda sucks. Dark Cold plus the Bank to out Lind. You know, normal summons another Lind. Set Messengelato. Beastsphere. No, it doesn't even have the Chateau to just keep setting it. He called down to into max C3 triple summon more attack. The fuck? Man, I think like last time I'm just gonna go get a coffee after this game is done because I'm falling asleep. Yeah, that's kinda, you know, the videos I enjoy making are the deck profiles and, you know, the stuff with IRL cards. You know, just watching replays is not particularly fun to me, but you know, people enjoy it and helps them improve the format, helps them get into the format. So you know, that's kind of why I'm doing it. Also views. But it's like it's not my kind of content to watch, so it's also not my kind of content to enjoy particularly making. You know, the kind of the goal of this channel is to help people get into what I'm currently into. So you know, before it was Firefist, now it's hot format. Now for the last year and a half, I mean. Maybe one day I'll just move on to something else, but yeah. We have Gear Gas versus Airfalco's Fairy deck. Can we get a match without Gear Gas? You know, the last one was Mermal versus Madolches, but you know, now it's always Gear Gas again. Anyways, the Soul Charge Gear Gas gonna win. What's new? Falco's Soul Charge is not gonna be particularly strong, especially after the Rhapsody. You know, it could have been pretty good though without the Rhapsody, to be honest. So, the fact that Exodon is light is kind of funny because I'm honest. Yeah, I gotta say I'm kind of glad that Falco didn't top this one because you know this deck is just too much junk for HC. You know, it's like thing. It's like it's one thing if gadgets stop, but this is like I don't even know what this deck is supposed to be really. It's like kinda counter fairies, but not really. It has the Azathoth, which is one of the weirdest decks I've ever seen. You know, it makes sense, but you know, even I as the guy that plays rank 4 decks, never really consider playing Azathoth as a King of the Furlame's target. Here we see extra with Schoolmeister on the artifacts, which is interesting. Not sure why Georgias need to be playing Schoolmeister. My guess, it was to stop Molson's Gravekeepers, but you know, as is usually with these replays, it's gonna crash again! Porco Dio puttana Eva, Madonna Cristo Santo Dio Signore puttana Madonna. I also just noticed that Falco is playing a 43 card deck. You know, frankly, I'm curious to see Falco's deck. Kind of want to see the spice behind the madness. Yeah, this should be the point. Gets a pretty huge torrential, and you know it's fine because he has the MK2. Blackhorn putting in work as usual. It's pretty nasty. Yeah. And to round off the video, we have Celsius on Kyrgyz. Surprise! Versus Tegalik on Cat or Hat. I think Hat, probably. Maybe, I don't know. Hat, I think. Celsius is on Gurgia hands with Call of the Haunted and Breaker skills and Finish Chain. Gets off a huge exit on Knight. But by huge I mean he gets back to artifacts, but you know he also has a bunch of hands so he can kind of counteract that with Soul Charge. Anyways, he crashes the Moral Attack so he can Soul Charge next turn. Attacks Firehand. Not sure why. I guess to prevent some damage later. 101 Wars versus Geargia Armor. Searches Arsenal, and you know, he's gonna use it so to try and get an extra material in graveyard for Soul Charge, but it's gonna get bottomless, which is even better. No, yeah, right. He normal summoned the Mermolio, so he searched the bottomless, I think. So Ulcosaurus almost gonna go for game, but finish. Car into Diddy Crow, not very good. I think Celsius has got this game. Never mind, he does have a last ditch effort. The Diddy Crow useful for the breakthrough skill. Makes sense. Celsius still won in the end. Anyways, take a look with Murmolio plus he has a Citra pull already, so he searches bottomless. Bottomless the Arsenal. Blind MST into breaker skill, which frankly I probably would have held that. Since you know he wasn't playing with that. Just a warning, but Wartap does use double cyclone to get rid of Kirgian text, but he has breakthrough skill. No, even if he didn't, he has DD Crow in hand, so system down. That's interesting. Not the most common side deck card, you know. It's kind of interesting because, Yugias are very well designed in the fact that the common weaknesses for machine decks are Cyber Dragon and also System Down, and they designed a deck that is not weak to those cards. Like, if you're playing Cyber Dragon, the deck, obviously, yeah, it has a bad matchup, but Cyber Dragon is not a particularly effective side deck card for the deck. It's interesting. I was talking about to a friend that plays Edison, and he was like, "Geargas, just citing Cyber Dragon, isn't that legal?" Yeah, it's kind of wild if you think about it for a little bit. It's kind of this Chimera Attack is one of those defining cards that just warps old school formats, but Gigas were designed around that. Celsius won by summoning Black Sheep. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that's it from me. Leave a like, join the Discord, subscribe, leave a comment, ring the bell, all the good shit, and goodbye.